and we have the facility to start with us and tell us the real issues we are involved in it. Sir.
Namaskara. Namaste to everybody. We have assembled today to disappointment, anger and frustration over Karnataka government's proposed 4% reservation for Muslims in government tenders. The Siddharamaiah government in the budget last week has proposed to introduce a 4% reservation in government tenders by amending the KTPP Act. This move is not only patently unconstitutional, it is also something that the framers of this constitutions had rejected outright even at the time of forming of the constitution. This is also an idea that, quoting the words of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, has the potential to balkanize India. The Bharatiya Janata Party firmly opposes this proposed unconstitutional move and demands from the Siddharamaiah government to immediately roll back this proposed unconstitutional misadventure. This is not the first time that the Congress party has taken such misadventures in its effort to appease its vote bank politics. Starting from the days of Pandit Nehru, efforts have been made consistently by the Congress party to appease the Muslim minority at the cost of the SC, STs and the OBCs. Babasaheb Ambedkar had opposed, both inside the parliament and outside the parliament, Pandit Nehru's unabashed appeasement politics. Speaking in the parliament, Ambedkar had said that the Prime Minister, speaking of course about Pandit Nehru, Ambedkar had said that Pandit Nehru thinks only about the Muslims and never about the welfare of the SCs and STs. Continuing this trend, the Congress leadership even to this day prioritizes over and above everybody else, every other group, every other backward class in the country, the interests of the Muslim minority. Time and again, courts in this country, multiple high courts and the Supreme Court, time and again has said that granting reservations solely on the basis of religion is unconstitutional and is not permitted. Being fully aware of this legal position, the Siddharamaiah government, in a very calculated move to appease and send a message to its vote bank, has indulged in this constitutional misadventure. And this is being done at the behest, direction, patronage of the Congress party's topmost leadership, most particularly Rahul Gandhi. Before the commencement of the Lok Sabha election campaign, Rahul Gandhi went about the whole country, speaking the same strain of thought that earlier Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had spoken about, that the minorities of the country have an exclusive and first right over the country's resources. This is the same strain of thought of Rahul Gandhi reflected in the Karnataka budget, when Rahul Gandhi says, "Jitna hak utni abadi, or the corollary to that. Jitna abadi utna haq. The questions that the Bharatiya Janata Party would like to ask Siddharamaiah are these. You claim to be a practitioner of secularism. Is this the brand of secularism that the Constitution of India and Baba Sahib Ambedkar envisaged for the country, where benefits of reservations are taken away from SC/STs and given over to minority Muslims? You claim to be a champion, a self-proclaimed champion of Ambedkar and the welfare of backward classes. When the idea of reservations for minorities on the basis of religion was mooted during the framing of the Constitution, Baba Sahib Ambedkar had opposed this idea tooth and nail with these words. In 1949, while discussing this very idea, Ambedkar had said on the floor of the Constituent Assembly that the reservation of seats for religious minorities on the basis of religion is a fatal dose for the country. To divide a country on the basis of religion is dangerous and does not augur well for national unity and integrity. Reservations are meant to safeguard the interests of communities that have been historically subjected to discrimination and social injustice. Religion cannot be the basis of backward classes. If separate electorates and communal representation on the basis of religious identities were so vital, why then were they not claimed by Muslims when the Minto-Morley reforms or the Montague-Chelford reform were on the anvil? The principle of reservation should be confined to minority communities that have been systematically discriminated against. Reservations on a purely religious basis would lead to the balkanization of India. This is how strong the opposition to religion-based reservations was even at the time of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar. On one hand, the Congress party claims to be champions of backward classes, self-appointed custodians of rights of SCs and STs, claims to be the protectors of Dr. Baba Sahib's legacy, but in reality, this is the nature of politics that they pursue. Even earlier in 2004, the Congress government in Andhra Pradesh had proposed this 4% reservation in government tenders for Muslims. It was quashed by the Andhra High Court. The matter is now pending before the Supreme Court, before a constitutional bench. A similar misadventure by West Bengal High Court was also quashed by the West Bengal High Court. Even that matter is pending before the Supreme Court. This patently unconstitutional, prima facie illegal act will be challenged in the court. The Bharatiya Janata Party will fight against this move inside of the assembly and outside of this assembly on the streets. We will raise this issue in the parliament. We will also protest against this outside of the parliament. We will fight and oppose this inside the courtrooms. We will take this fight to the people in the state of Karnataka. And until and unless this unconstitutional move will be rolled back, the Bharatiya Janata Party's fight will continue. This action is not only illegal and unconstitutional, but also, quoting the words of the great Baba Sahib Ambedkar, has the potential to balkanize India. It is a threat to the national integrity, unity, and sovereignty. Even in the budget, the Siddharamaiah government has made separate provisions for minority specific schemes which again are unconstitutional. While 150 crores has been allotted for protection of Waqf properties, not a single word has been said about the illegally encroached Waqf properties in Karnataka. Even though thousands of farmers in Karnataka have gone to the streets over months protesting against illegal encroachment by Waqf properties. 1,000 crores has been specifically allotted. क्या एक मेजॉरिटी एरिया मुस्लिम माइनॉरिटी लोकेलिटी ऐसे हम देश को बांट सकते हैं क्या? ये सेक्युलरिज्म का तरीका है क्या? Since when have government started allocating budgets on the basis of religious areas? 1,000 करोड़ रुपए प्रदेश सरकार कर्नाटका में मुस्लिम एरिया के डेवलपमेंट के लिए रखा है। एक शहर में, एक प्रदेश में ये हिंदुओं का एरिया, ये एससी एसटी का एरिया, ये इस जात का एरिया, ये मुसलमान का एरिया, ऐसे हम बांटते जाते हैं तो देश की एकता कहां होगी? This unconstitutional move has to be challenged not just by political parties but even by the is being widely condemned. The Bharatiya Janata Party expresses its stern disapproval. We will raise this issue in the parliament in the coming days. We will protest against this in the state assembly. We will also legally challenge this in the court. And we will make sure that this blatant tampering with Baba Saheb's constitution will be rejected and will fail. Thank you so much. With your permission, I will also address briefly in Kannada because this issue predominantly relates to Karnataka. राज्य सरकार